Obviously, it doesn't hurt working with Meryl.
Absolutely not.
And apparently your relationship was off-screen as well. I mean,
yes.
You were buddies.
I mean, I think that it was strange and it was easy. It was scary to work with Meryl my first time. Well, my first time I actually worked with Sandy Dennis. You know, I have not worked with any slouch people since I've gotten to do this. Working with Sandy Dennis was one of the most fabulous experiences I've ever had. And working with Meryl was also one of the most fabulous experiences. Working with Mike Nichols is a joy beyond compare, because you have the feeling with both of those directors, with Mike Nichols and Robert Altman, that you are their favorite child and that you're doing exactly what they want. No one could do it better, and they just love you. And that if you do anything, if you make a mistake, it's not going to make any difference. They just love what you're doing.
We are in New York City with Cher, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Now that you're here in New York part-time, any chance of you being on Broadway?
Why not?
Right, from your mouth to God's ears. I think the most fun work I've ever done in my life was the show that I did on Broadway. It was the first time I'd ever done a play.
Yeah, come back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy.
Yes, and it was really fun. I mean, it was just fun.
Yeah. Is there, you really are some kind of role model. There is just nothing.
I'm not some kind of role model.
Well, yeah, you haven't, well, I suppose, how many married twice?
Yes. Yes.
All right, 2 children. You never got onto any funny cigarettes or anything like that. You took very good care of yourself, and you did what you wanted to do. I can't imagine. And you can live anywhere you want. Nice place to be. For a woman at this moment in our country's history, that's some kind of achievement. And you appear not to have sold out to anybody.
I don't know. I never thought about it that way.
Is there anything steady? Do you have a steady relationship now?
Yes.
Do we know this chap?
I don't think you do.
Does the audience?
I don't think they know him. I mean, they couldn't possibly know him, but they might have, like, read in the Inquirer, if any of you read the Inquirer.
I'm sorry, what?
Tell us his name.
His name is Joshua Donahue, and, shut up, Billy. It's my manager. His name is Joshua Donahue. He works for ABC. He's the vice president of ABC Motion Pictures. His father is Stanley Donahue, who's a director, and he's Josh.
How many times have you changed the color of your hair, and what colors have you not had?
I think I've never changed the color of my hair until last year, and I had all 3 colors in 1 year. I had red, black, and blonde in 1 year. I probably won't do it ever again.
Are you going to be singing again with a singing career?
I would like to sing again. I gave up singing for a long time because it seemed like that was one of the best excuses that the people in motion pictures gave me for not giving me a job.
I wanted to know about your home in California that you had up for sale, the Egyptian decor.
Yeah.
Did you ever get it sold?
No.
How much was it selling?
A couple million, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a little bit more than that. It's not sold, and the reason I think it's not sold is because I'm not coming down on the price.
It is 6, is it now?
No, it's not. It's 5.7.
Is it really haunted?
Is it really haunted?
Just went to 5.1.
No, unfortunately, that was one of the reasons that it didn't get sold. The National Enquirer printed that my house was haunted.
Are you glad you shed the glamorous Barbie doll image? Has it enhanced your career as an actress?
You mean I'm not glamorous?
I mean, the specials and the Bob Mackie gowns and the hair.
No, all right. I don't feel like I've actually shed that. I just feel that that was a part of me, and the majority that all of you were exposed to. And I think that that is definitely a part of me. It's just not all there is. And sometimes you take a lot of time building a career and an image, and then you get stuck with it.
How did you finally get your break for serious acting in motion pictures?
Well, as almost all things, my mother, by accident, This is really a strange story. I decided that no matter what, I was going to come to New York, I was going to study with Lee Strasberg, and I was going to do something. And I got an audition with Joe Papp. My mother was very excited to know about the audition and thought she was calling me. My mother is good friends with Robert Altman's wife. She called Robert Altman's house by accident. He was sleeping, really angry that someone had awakened him. She said, "Hi, is Cher there?" And he said, "No, what would Cher be doing here?" And my mother said, "Who is this?" And he said, "Georgia, is that you?" And she said, "Who's this?" And he said, "It's Robert Altman." And she said, "Oh, I thought I was calling Cher." "What's Cher doing? What do you want to talk to her? She's not here." "All right, fine." Cut over to the end of the conversation. He said, "What is she doing in New York?" And my mother said, "She wants to be a serious actress." He hung up the phone with my mother, and he called me at Joe Papp's office, and I got the script to Jimmy Dean, and the next week on a Monday, after 8 years of trying, I was doing a show.
So what's the moral of that story? It helps to have an aggressive mother and who loves you.
Yes.
Your mother also, did your mother have the blonde part in Asphalt Jungle?
Yes. And then there was this woman who came in named Marilyn Monroe and got it.
So, and your mother is thrilled at your success.
Yes.
And you apparently have a real, in addition to mother-daughter, you have a sisterhood with her. Is that so? Is that accurate?
I think it's very accurate because, I don't know, there's some kind of strange disease in my family where you start out very mature and old, and then as you get older, you get very childish and silly.
Now, you're on the right, okay?
Right, and that's my mother in the middle and my sister's down at the bottom.
Right, you were making a point.
Right, and my mother and my grandmother, I went to, my grandmother's birthday was a couple of weeks ago. My grandmother's 71, and my grandmother is 13 years older than my mother. And my grandmother and I were talking, and she said, "I need new gym clothes. I've worn out my others." My mother goes to my mother goes to the gym, and my grandmother goes to the gym 4 times a week, and they're very, very young-looking women.
Yeah.
Or I'm not so young.
I understand. I want to show you the scene. I believe this first scene is she is taking. Remember now, this is in this film Mask. Peter Bogdanovich, the director. You're friends of a biker. Are you? You're a biker as well.
I'm a biker.
So this is not necessarily the church choir type of personality here, but she loves her son, and her son is very distractingly deformed. You will not see his face in this scene, but this is his proud mother saying to the principal, "You're going to take this child in this school." And
this also is a true story. That's what makes it very important to me.
Here it is. Roll film.
Yes. Never mind. Hi, I'm here to register my son for the 9th grade.
Well, Mrs.
No, Mrs. I'm Rusty Dennis. This is my son, Rocky.
Please sit down.
Oh, we're running a little bit late, so could you move it along?
This is a public junior high school, Miss Dennis. There are special schools with wonderful facilities that might be more appropriate for his needs.
Do you teach algebra and biology and English here?
Of course.
Those are his needs.
Perhaps I should speak to the boy's father.
Perhaps you should speak to the Pope, too. He'd be a lot easier to find.
Says I do feel that for the good of my students, as well as your son, I'm going to need some additional information.
Look, Mr. Sims, you know what? Don't jerk me around. I'm not in the mood. I've had a real crappy day so far. First, I find out that we're in the wrong school district. I got to come down here and play pussyfoot with you. This is a copy of our lease. This is a copy of Rocky's birth certificate, and this is his last report card from Stevens Junior High School, where he was in the top 5% of his class. And I got some additional information for you. My lawyer's name is B.D. Higgins.
We're in New York City with Cher. That's from Mask. Soon to be at your neighborhood theater. Back in a moment.
For skincare, diet, and exercise.
All right, well, I exercise a lot. You know, I mean, I try and exercise a little bit every day. As you get older, I find out that it doesn't make any difference what you do. If you don't exercise, it's not going to be up there. You know, everything falls. I have a place in New York that I go and have my skin cleaned. I really believe this man is fabulous. His name is Mario Badescu. And I really take good care of it. When I did the Sonny and Cher show, I got makeup poisoning, and for many years had a terrible problem with my skin. I try and eat as healthily as I can, only I have the major chocolate Jones of all time.